Hey now, it's Ruben at Help Find the Others. So again, thanks for everyone who's reached out, sent me a message. I've had a couple really, almost serendipitous emails the past week that have really kind of stuck with me and motivated me and made me feel really good about all this going on. So, yeah, anyone who wants to send me a message, help find the others at protonmail.com. You never know what that will lead to as far as friendship and stuff like that. So I definitely reach out. If anything I've said in any of my videos resonates and you're like, man, I'd like to talk to that guy, or I'd like to whatever, yeah, send me a message, man. I've made some great friends already through this. It's amazing. And yeah, who knows where any of this is going to go. So with that out of the way, I would like to announce that the Help Find the Others podcast is now live. It's currently on anything that uses Apple. You don't need to have an Apple. Like if you have an iPod, you just go to podcast, search Help Find the Others, and there you go. But I don't have an Apple, and I was listening to it on an app called Stitcher. And that it's on there. So there's other apps that access Apple's database. It will be on like Spotify and TuneIn and some other stuff soon. But for the meantime, it's out there. Search for it in whatever your podcast listening avenues there are. I'm going to post a video version, like with just a still image, on YouTube. So if you want to listen to it that way, that's fine, and I'll put all the episodes up that way as well. But if you're going to listen to it through a streaming service, I do ask that you subscribe and give high ratings if you can. Not because I need the kudos, but because that will increase the algorithms see that, and it increases the visibility. And that's what the podcast is all about, is jumping from the YouTube realm to spread the net out even further and really try to connect everyone that I can, and reach as many people, and just spread this message. So definitely, where you can rate and do all that, do that, please. It only helps the visibility. And also, just spread the word. I know a lot of people are like, hey, I've told a bunch of friends about your channel. They love it. That's great. That's what we got to do. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of the podcast. The quality sounds great. My co-hosts and I, are not in the same state, and so it's over the internet, but the quality is so good. I mean, it sounds like we're in a studio together. So I'm really proud of that. I think it'll get better every time. Maybe it was a little loose form, but I don't think that really comes across any different than the way I do these videos. But, I think as we get used to it, like we'll get the form a little better, tighten it up, stuff like that. I also want to say, like, I really want to have guests on. I want that to be not just me, talking about stuff like nonstop. I want to have discussion. I want it to be a discussion-based podcast with normal people that represent the counterculture. I want to talk to another stay-at-home dad that's been microdosing as much as I want to talk to someone who meets DMT entities on a regular basis. Like I want to talk to all of you. I want to hear all of your stories, and I want to discuss what this all means, and really kind of connect everyone through our own stories, our own anecdotal evidence, and be part of the psychedelic renaissance here, in the consciousness revolution. I want to talk to people that, have ego death experiences while meditating and don't use psychedelic drugs. I want to talk to people that do yoga and holotropic breath work. Like, if you're out there, please message us. Message at helpfindtheothers at protonmail.com. And if you don't mind being on a podcast and putting your voice out there, you don't even need to use your real name and to talk about these kind of things. Let's have a discussion. If you want to talk for an hour or two or three about whatever it is, I want to have just normal people guests on. I'm going to reach out to maybe some other YouTubers and stuff like that after the podcast gets established to try and have them on as guests. But for the most part, I just want the others to be the guests, you know, and to anyone who's really resonated with anything that I've been talking about in my videos and live streams. That's what I want the podcast to be. Now, if you don't want to have your voice on air, or if you don't want to like talk the whole time, there, you know, you can email me and ask a question and say like, hey, can you cover this topic in your next podcast or whatever, and I'll try my best to work that in. You know, have like a mailbox type of section of the podcast. We also, if you don't want to be a full-on guest on the podcast, we have a number that you can call that's like a Google call-in line, and we can play the message on air, and then talk about it. So there's that option. I'll put that number and the link down below, as well as the email address. But again, that's helpfindtheothers@protonmail.com. So if any of you that have emailed me or haven't emailed me yet and been thinking about it and you'd like to be on the podcast, like hit me up. I'd love to start having guests in the next couple weeks. I think we're going to do the podcast every week, maybe every other week. I'm not real sure, whatever, you know, our schedules sync up. You know, after a couple that we get under our belt and we get things real tightened up, I'd really like to start having guests. So, and anyone who has emailed me, by the way, about being a guest, I'm going to get back to you to see what days work and stuff like that to try and do it. Everyone's on different time zones, so it can be hard, but I'm sure we can work it out. So again, keep an eye out for, well, I'll post a video after this, with the still image and the podcast under it. But, you know, if you want to stream it in your car or wherever you listen to podcasts, you know, you should be able to, now, if not soon, if you use, the other services I talked about. So anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. Sorry I didn't get a live stream in this weekend. My wife was out of town and I didn't have time to you know, have the house to myself and do the live stream. But, you know, hopefully I'll get on that this weekend or something. I don't know. But again, thanks for all the love, guys, and I hope you're having a great day. Peace out.